2025 is over, and if you thought it was chaotic, buckle up for 2026. The fuse has been lit on a host of economic time bombs, which, if detonated, could send shockwaves across the world. Here are 4 massive unknowns that could upend the global economy this year. Number 1. Will the AI bubble finally burst? 2025 was the year when the AI frenzy went into overdrive. Trillions of dollars poured into data centers, chips, new models. AI stocks didn't just explode, they carried the entire US economy with it. This is exactly what's ringing alarm bells. Some economists fear we could be experiencing a repeat of the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s, when investor euphoria around early internet companies was followed by a sudden and painful crash. There's no doubt that AI tech brings enormous opportunities. The problem is that so far, investment and hype haven't been translating into cold hard profits. AI systems are brutally expensive to run, and competition forces companies to burn huge sums of cash just to stay relevant. And right now, profits are lagging far behind market valuations. The reality is that a large share of this investment is still speculative, based on highly optimistic predictions of future growth, not present cash flows. This is why some economists think that 2026 could be a moment of reckoning, a show-me-the-money moment when investors stop rewarding promise and start demanding proof. The question isn't whether AI changes the world, it most certainly will. The question is whether the hype is running ahead of the tech, and if the bubble can be sustained before the profits arrive. And if it can't, does the bubble slowly deflate, or does it burst violently, taking the rest of the economy with it? Only time will tell. Number 2. Will the United States annex Greenland? When Donald Trump first talked about taking Greenland, most people thought it was a joke. After all, Greenland is part of Denmark, a long-standing US ally and fellow NATO member. The idea that the US would seize territory from a European ally in the 21st century to many seemed unthinkable. But it turns out he's been deadly serious, recently even appointing a new special envoy for Greenland to make it happen.
I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
But why Greenland? As the Arctic ice melts, the region is quietly turning into the world's next geopolitical battleground. As well as opening up new trade routes, the Arctic is also becoming a new arena for military competition. With China and Russia both expanding their Arctic presence, Trump wants to enter the action, whether Denmark agrees or not. But it's not just about territory and defense, it's also about resources. Beneath Greenland's ice lies vast reserves of critical minerals and rare earth elements that are the lifeblood of 21st century economies, powering everything from AI and renewable energy to advanced weapon systems. In short, as the planet warms, Greenland is quietly becoming one of the most strategically valuable pieces of real estate on the planet. Any attempt by the US to strong-arm Greenland away from Denmark wouldn't just be a diplomatic scandal. It would trigger a historic rupture with Europe, but it would also signal something even bigger. A shift back towards colonial land grabs in a supposedly post-imperial world, a world where territory and resources matter more than democracy and alliances. What happens to Greenland isn't just about the island and the people who live there. It's a test case for what kind of world is coming next. Number 3. More war or lasting peace? 2025 was another year defined by conflict. The war in Ukraine continued to grind on, draining resources, disrupting global markets, and forcing many European countries to start scaling up defense spending. In the Middle East, although the genocide in Gaza has reached a fragile ceasefire, the situation on the ground tells a very different story. And after US strikes on Iran's nuclear program back in June, the risk of a far wider regional conflict has only increased. But existing wars aren't the only danger. In recent months, the US has sharply escalated tensions with Venezuela, stealing oil shipments, bombing Venezuelan ships, and openly threatening military action. This action aligns with Trump's new national security strategy, which asserted American dominance over the Western Hemisphere, if necessary by using lethal force to remove hostile governments and secure access to strategic natural resources. And it's these resources that Venezuela has in spades, including not only the world's largest proven oil reserves, but also vast amounts of gold and other critical minerals. In recent months, Trump's made his intentions very clear. He wants those assets under US control, whether Venezuela likes it or not.
You remember they took all of our energy rights, they took all of our oil, and we want it back.
But the most dangerous flashpoint may still lie ahead. Its name? Taiwan. China has long maintained that Taiwan is part of its sovereign territory. For years, Beijing has avoided direct confrontation, instead biding its time while building up its economic, technological, and military power. The real question isn't if China moves on Taiwan, but when. This isn't just another geopolitical dispute. Taiwan sits at the center of the global semiconductor supply chain. No chips means no smartphones, no cars, no AI, no advanced weapons. The conflict here wouldn't just disrupt global supply chains, it would rupture the beating heart of the 21st century economy. But the biggest unknown isn't China, it's the United States. Analysts have long feared that a move on Taiwan could be the spark that turns the technological Cold War between Washington and Beijing into a military hot war. And if that happens, we're entering very dangerous times indeed. And so in 2026, we face a fork in the road. Do we see wars resolved with lasting peace? Or does the world enter a more volatile age of global conflict? In an already unstable world, the difference between war and peace isn't just human lives. It's also about whether the global economy sinks or swims. Number 4, are we alone in the universe? This one sounds like science fiction, but bear with me. Because if this turned out to be real, it has the potential to be the kind of black swan event that changes everything. In recent years, the idea of extraterrestrial life has moved from fringe speculation into mainstream discussions. Scientists have detected possible biosignatures on distant exoplanets that show promising signs of life. On a cosmic scale, the idea that we're alone in the universe is becoming harder and harder to defend. Closer to home, after decades of denial, governments have now admitted that there are unidentified flying objects in the sky that they can't explain, with some displaying advanced flight characteristics like extreme speeds and acceleration with no obvious propulsion system.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
While the US government maintains it has no proof of non-human life, a growing number of whistleblowers have emerged from the shadows claiming otherwise. In recent years, dozens of intelligence and military officials have come forward, with some testifying to Congress under oath, claiming not only that UFOs are real, but that they're non-human.
There is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
Some have even testified that the US government has in fact been running a decades-long secret program to recover and reverse engineer this non-human technology. While these claims sound absurd, Congress has actually taken them pretty seriously, passing legislation to protect whistleblowers and even setting up a new public body to monitor and track UFO sightings. If even a fraction of these claims were true, the implications would be profound, not just scientifically, but economically and culturally. That's why some investors are starting to quietly pay attention. A handful have even launched new niche investment funds designed to maximize exposure to companies rumored to be connected to the reverse engineering of non-human technologies. The problem, though, is that so far, there's very little hard evidence for the public to put our hands on. What we have are incredible testimonies coming from seemingly credible people. But until we have verifiable proof that we can independently assess, it's wise to proceed with caution, especially given that many of these claims are coming from deep state insiders whose whole careers have been built on secrecy and deception. As the saying goes, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and 2026 should be the year when these claims are put to the test and those making them are asked to put up or shut up.
One of two things is happening here. Either they're telling the truth, and that is something that obviously would be the biggest story in human history, or we have people in really important positions of government who are crazy. Either one is a big problem.
Overall, 2026 is shaping up to be a high-stakes year. What makes this moment so volatile isn't any single risk. It's the convergence of major shifts in economics, geopolitics, technology, war, culture, all happening at once. As 2026 unfolds, the question isn't whether the world will change. The question is which fault line will break first, and what does it mean for the rest of us?